this is quite a nice sort of full circle for me because I first met David Starkey when I was about 12 in the local theatre here when he came to do a talk on the Tudors, and I was very overawed at the time. And yeah, I'm slightly less overawed, but we're not quite equals, but we are at least talking at eye level now. I've grown up a little taller,
Level, yes, for
but
sure.
I am here. I am here talking to the great David Starkey today. So thank you very much for having me,
A
David.
pleasure. Pleasure.
And
We also, didn't we? We also had the pleasure of a kind of e-conversation on Twitter where we teased vigorously about litter picking, and I trumped you by showing that wonderful photograph of Margaret Thatcher attended
yes.
by no fewer than two cabinet ministers and trying desperately to learn to use one of those long pole twiggy things to pick up,
Yeah.
then saying regally, "So much easier to bend down and pick it up yourself."
She was a much more dignified litter picker than Boris Johnson was when he was wading
Yes,
through
yes,
that
yes.
river.
I still wait the muscularity of dear old Robert Jenrick, who presumably will do it wearing a jock strap or whatever he did, climbing the three pikes. Yes.
To just go back to what you said there about Trump being the sort of the master of gesture politics, and gestures being the sort of the demonstration not only of personal will and personal animus to change things, but can also be of the state and can also be of a people to actually demand change. I suppose in many ways Brexit was an ultimate sort of gesture by ordinary people to say enough. And so just to sort of bring us back to what we touched upon at the very start, which is of course Robert Jenrick and his little gestures of going around of asking people why they're not paying fares. This LFG movement that is going around cleaning up trains, and of course my proposal to you that maybe you and Rupert Lowe and others may wish to perhaps get out there with a little bin bag or who knows some sort of bat and something and sort of take down a phone thief. Is this in fact now what we're going to see a lot more of? Are we going to see little kind of gestures as sort of individual rebellions against the direction that things are going? Just very quickly, do you see this sort of carrying on? And can this be the thing that gets the British public out of their sort of stupor of just assuming everything has to be rubbish and there's nothing I can do?
I think we are going to see much more of it, because of course it works brilliantly online. It's abs our little exchange took place on Twitter, and it's perfect Twitter material. It's perfect TikTok material. And I think again we all in it's very much the same way, Benedict. I'm sure if you're having a terrible problem with writing, as we all do occasionally, we tidy our desks, don't we?
Yes.
There is this sort of you try your life may be in chaos, but or you sort out your sock drawer, or you watch women perpetually altering crockery in the kitchen, this sort of thing. We make these gestures to try to create some sort of order in our space, but they are just that is their little gestures. There are desperate little struggle at making sense. They will only work if each one of those little gestures comes together into something much, much bigger. And it's all very well. I mean, as you probably know, I've been pushing now quite successfully the idea of an attack on the whole legacy of the Blairite state. It's getting funding. People are looking at the nature of the legislation. But until there is one of those great men or great women, until there is a serious political commitment to do something about it, nothing will happen. Because again, we've had this ridiculous myth of democratic politics. We imagine change comes up from the bottom. It's nonsense. All politics is naturally monarchical. Change comes from the top, as of course as Lenin understood, as Mao understood. All the serious revolutionaries understood, and it as the Romans understood. You had a highly involved system of politics with large degree of popular representation, but it requires leadership. And again, we've just forgotten this constant desire to cut down, to level down, this nervousness of the big person, the big idea. If we're ever to escape from this, and I find it shame making. You go into Westminster Abbey, you look at as it were, the entombed greatness there, and you compare it with our present littleness. Now, maybe lots of people are content with littleness. I'm not, and I don't think we should be.